Okay, here's how you camp cook a baked potato on the stove while you're out on the road. You don't have a campfire to throw a potato in. You take a little stove like this. This stove will burn for about an hour if you fill it with a ½ ounce of fuel, of methanol or ethanol. This little stand will hold your potato up off the fire, and this little windbreak will keep the wind off the stove. Now you insulate the bottom of your potato with a piece of tin foil. I've got a couple other little pieces of aluminum in there. And you insulate the top of the potato with something like this. You need that layer of insulation on top of it to keep the heat that comes up from the bottom from escaping. And you need a little bit of water. In there. You pour the stove full of fuel and give it a little bit of a light. And then I've learned that this stove burns just a little bit too hot, so I put this little governor on the fire. Then I put the potato and it's 22 minutes till 10. Now there's the little bitty fire that you get out of that stove, so you can see it's not much, and it would be about double that amount of fire if I didn't have that little ring on top. There we are, 45 minutes later, and we're still burning away. So here we are. The fire went out underneath my potato in 55 minutes. So I let this thing set for another 15, and we'll see what we've got. And notice it was hot inside there, and actually showed some burn marks, which are no real problem, but it tells you what the heat inside there is. Then you can see that if I poke that, the potato is cooked, and it's not burned on the bottom because of the insulation that was on the bottom. So that's a good test, a good example of how to cook a potato on the road. So here's a word about these little alcohol stoves. You can buy or look at over the internet for Zen type alcohol stove. There are millions of them. But I've been miniaturizing these with, I think this inside piece is a marker pencil of jumbo size, kind of hollow here on the bottom for about 3/8 of an inch. But this is an outside burning chamber. It's got an inside wall that allows the gasification to happen, and then it burns out these little holes. But I've found a big important thing: out in the wind they don't work near as well as they would, because the wind cools off this outside. So I've taken to making an extra layer out here with a little bigger can that insulates the stove, and so it works just about as well in the wind as it does out of the wind. I'm even doing that with some of my Coke can stoves. Thank you.